It's time. Get ready, you're going down.
And what if I don't want to go down? Can we stop waving guns around?
Hi, this is the Professional Amateur Hour coming to you with another review. This week, Leo sent me The Loch Ness Horror, and this 2023 film was directed by Tyler James and stars May Kelly, Becca Harani, and Matthew Bonsgard, among others, of course. The story of this movie is that the Loch Ness Monster has escaped, I guess, into the North Sea and has taken out a submarine. And the story itself is actually about the crew that is sent to investigate the sunken submarine to try to figure out what happened. And so they go there and they, are prepared to go down and check this thing out. But then some of the crew members just kind of like pull guns and say, hey, we're actually here to hunt the Loch Ness Monster. And like how they know it's the Loch Ness Monster already, like, I don't know. But they pull guns and now they are there to hunt the Loch Ness Monster at gunpoint, of course. What will happen though? Will they be able to catch the Loch Ness Monster? Well, for that, you gotta watch the movie and find out. Alright, so let's discuss this movie. So what works with it? Well, I guess with this movie, it was bought by Uncork'd Entertainment, or at least distributed by them. They're not known for having like the biggest budgets at all, and some of their movies don't really work. But with this one, it certainly has a bunch of fun elements in it. Everything to do with the Loch Ness Monster. She is a CGI monster, and so the CGI actually looks pretty good for a low budget movie, which is always good to see. And everything to do with the Loch Ness Monster is pretty fun, just seeing them chomp on guys or spit at people or whatever it might be. Certainly is fun. So the CGI on the monster and the monster itself certainly does work. Also, I would say all the acting is good. Certainly, they're just trying to be themselves with their regular accents. So they're not trying to do anything strange like some of these other kind of low budget movies. And it works for what it is. They are supposed to be looking for the Loch Ness Monster. So of course that's going to be for a specific region of the world. And it works with all of them. I did enjoy kind of the main woman with red hair or orange hair. I liked her kind of performance. And so yeah, the acting overall was just good. In addition, there are certainly some fun elements in this one. They kind of seem random or wacky, but they're fun at least. They find like missiles on their ship that nobody knew about, so they like strap it to their own submarine, and now they have a submarine with missiles to hunt the thing. And so it's just, kind of a fun, wacky movie sometimes. So it certainly has fun elements in it. And that brings me to what doesn't work with this movie. Well, with this one, the budget certainly does show. It is all on this ship, and they're always like inside something. So they're just people talking in rooms, talking in a different room here, talking in a different room there. And so it's a lot of that. So if you are unfamiliar with the low budget movie style that a lot of these guys have, then you might be surprised with how uninteresting it might be, or at least not uninteresting, but the lack of variations in environments. Let's say that, which does kind of get samey as it goes along. It's like, oh, now we're always in the boiler room. Now we're always in the lunchroom or whatever. And so it always just is people, talking to each other in rooms, or maybe talking on like a walkie-talkie to a person in a different room. And so that is a lot of the movie. With a low budget movie, that's what you got to do to make these things. And, it certainly works for what it is. I think there are movies that certainly make that work. It's just that with this movie, it's what they're talking about and how things kind of play out that also affects kind of people's enjoyment with this one, because characters just do things like randomly. Like I can't figure out like why would the characters pull guns on people at the beginning to start hunting this thing. Like why not have it so that you discover the Loch Ness Monster and say, oh, now we got to figure out a way to defeat this or else we can't go home. I don't know, it just kind of seems like a random thing. And then there's a bunch of other kind of just random events that happen, not only with the characters, but with the monster itself. The monster can like spit at people, and that's kind of fun. But then later, I guess the guy who got spit on has like a chest burster monster inside of him. I'm not sure about the lore of Loch Ness, but I don't think that's really how they reproduce. They don't reproduce with a little chest burster thing. So that just kind of seemed odd, but if you're going along with it, it certainly has its elements that you can enjoy. It's just whether they make sense or how much they make sense is going to be, something else to discuss. As for my recommendation, well, I actually think there's a movie called The Loch Ness Horror, but from like the 80s. So maybe if you like that one, check this one out, see how different it is, see if you like it. If you like just movie monsters, this one has Loch Ness in it. And again, the CGI is not bad on it, so you could watch it for that. Just be prepared to have all those elements of a low budget movie that certainly some people, it kind of grinds their gears. Other people, perfectly fine like myself. And so ultimately, this movie is just perfectly okay. As for a rating, well, it was mildly interesting to see these guys go down and hunt this Loch Ness Monster. And so ultimately, I'm going to give it the 3.4. And with that being said, I think that's all I wanted to say. So like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.